Hello everyone, welcome to our class on the digestive system. The digestive system is one body system that most people are familiar with. We interact with it often, stuffing food in one end and taking care of the business that occurs at the other end. But there's a lot of parts and stuff that happens in between those two activities, and that's what we're going to talk about in this lesson. Let's get started. Now, first things first. When you think of the digestion, I bet you think about the abdomen. Remember that although most of the functions we'll discuss do happen in the abdomen, the digestive tract is also found in the head, chest, and pelvic cavities as well as the abdomen. Now there are two basic divisions of the digestive system, the alimentary tract and the accessory organs. The alimentary tract is one long tube stretching from your mouth to Uranus, not the planet. And believe it or not, it's about 30 feet long. At one end, we ingest. In the middle, we digest and absorb. And at the other end, we eliminate. The other division includes the accessory organs attached to that tube. Their primary function is to aid in digestion. They are the liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and some ductwork. I'm not sure why, but your book lists the spleen in the digestive section, but it's just a neighbor. It has no digestive functions. Finally, let me talk a little about digestion and absorption. Digestion equals breakdown. We eat complex substances and we break them down into simple nutrients that our body needs. Then we absorb these nutrients into the bloodstream where they are transported to all of the body's cells for use. Now let me show you where the parts live. The mouth and the pharynx are here in the head. The esophagus stretches from the head through the neck and chest to the stomach in the upper abdomen. Here's the stomach. Then there's the longest section, the small intestine. Next is the large intestine. It has an ascending, transverse, and descending portion. Finally, the terminal section of the large intestine and the rectum are in the pelvic cavity. Now here are the accessory structures. Here's the liver. Here's the pancreas. The gallbladder's right here. And here are the associated ductwork that connects them all. Oh, and the spleen lives right over here. Now this is an anatomically correct illustration, but it's tough to actually see how this stuff interacts. So I'm going to simplify things for you. All right, imagine we get a volunteer in class to let us take a closer look at all these organs. We'll get one of you to grab the pharynx and another to grab the rectum, and then the two of you are going to run in opposite directions. Well, here's what it would look like. Well, kind of. It's not to scale. Let's label the stuff now. Esophagus is a pathway into the body. Stomach is here, where chemical digestion occurs. The stomach, by the way, is protected by a mucus layer, so it doesn't digest itself. The small intestine is here, and there are three segments. The duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. The large intestine is over here. Now the accessories. Notice how they are interconnected. Sorry about that. The liver produces bile, which goes to the gallbladder for storage until needed. The pancreas makes digestive enzymes which will ultimately end up in the small intestine. The ducts here link up and drain into the duodenum, the first segment of the small intestine. Oh yeah, there's one other guy here you need to know about. The appendix, which is connected to the first section of the large intestine. He's a problem sometimes. Now hopefully you can better envision how all these parts are interconnected. Now let's use our simple diagram to discuss functions. You may have heard the terms upper GI or lower GI tract. Well, although these words seem to infer location or direction, they actually more accurately describe functions. The organs with the red border make up the upper GI tract, esophagus, stomach, and the first section of the small intestine. The blue bordered organs are the lower GI tract, the middle and last segments of the small intestine, and everything south of there. So how do these relate to function? Well, here you go. The upper GI is all about ingestion and digestion, or the breakdown of food. The lower GI is about absorption of nutrients and water so they can enter the bloodstream, and elimination. So now you understand the basics of digestion and the organs that make it happen. You're going to see a lot of GI problems in the field. We'll cover that material in the medical emergency section of class, but I'll give you a little heads up on some of the stuff you're going to learn. In many cases, we are not able to really figure out what's wrong, but we do need to recognize some of the issues that can occur. First, the patients will often be in a lot of pain, and that can make your assessment and treatment very, very difficult. Second, if the organs don't function well, that can have a serious impact on nutrient and hydration status of the patient, which can affect other organ systems. Finally, some of these things bleed, a lot, so shock is definitely a possibility. Well, that's it for this lesson. I'll catch you later.